Alright, g'day. So the kit's arrived. This is what you're going to get. You're going to get the box. You're going to get 2 key fobs, a harness, and a little diagram basically that just tells you different ways to wire it up. And you got your general way on the inside. Tells you what everything does. So it's real simple. Now I've installed kits like this, not exactly the same as this, but similar, in Magna, Toyota, Kia, Suzuki, and I've installed about 10 of them over time, and none of them have failed. They're fantastic. Now I should have looked better at this kit because I like a little light that shines to know that the battery's still working. You know, them's the brakes. Still going to install it, and I can always change the key fobs later. There's a little button inside, which it shows you here on the diagram. A little button there inside that you press, and when the lights flash, the indicators flash, that's when you can reprogram new remotes. And aftermarket kits, all these remotes are compatible with each other. So if I bought another kit for 20 bucks, I could just swap over the remotes, which I might do later on. We'll see how we go. Right, I just want to show you is the wiring that I'm going with here is figure 2. Now this side here, they should say sample only, because they're assuming the central locking box is connecting up to whatever your car is, the color wires, so you can ignore that part. It's just demonstration. I'm going with this wiring diagram here. Both oranges connect to the earth, which makes the 2 white wires the trigger for up and down. And then you've got your positive and negative. And the rest of it's not on here, but say this section here. Now all these kits are pretty much exactly the same. Like I could buy another kit and just swap this over if I want it to be different. And so we've got the green, which could be a horn for an alarm or power windows, but it needs to bypass a relay first. It says that, well, somewhere there. I'm not going to worry about the horn. I've actually already heat shrinked it off, so I'm not using that. The 2 browns are for your indicators. Red, black is for the boot. Power, obviously, and then you got your trigger wires there. So it's all real simple. Right, well, I'm just going to wire this all up now and show you it working. Now, if you didn't see the other video about me, how I found out what wires were, just a couple of videos back is when I was mucking around with the BCM, and you can see on that clip there on how I came to what wires I chose. Right, so I just want to show you this here because you should always do some testing while you've got access to the wires before you crimp them, solder them, whatever you want to do. Now, the outcome of this going to the BCM didn't turn out the way I expected. So it's got some funny shit going on. What we got here is I've just got the wire that locks and unlocks going to the indicators, and everything works, and I could leave it like that, and you know, end of the day, who cares? But I do. So the original intention was you earth off the 2 orange ones here, you connect these 2 white ones here, not together, I was just playing around, to your lock and unlock. Unfortunately, this box here is constantly earthed out. So what's happening is, instead of triggering a wire that I need, it's triggering them both at the same time. So that's not working out. So I'm going to sort something out with that. Might have to install a relay or something, because I want it to function the way I expected it to. But if I really wanted to, I could just leave it like that. And I'll show you from the back here. So what's happening is, I'll show you here first. So if I was to go, so if I want to lock the car, I'll just go lock, and it flashes the indicators once, lock. If I unlock the car, like that. If I was to press it again, now it's locked. You know, so you could really, just the top button for lock, top button for unlock, and just be happy with that. And the indicators on the back there work as well, so you know, one at the top button, that's lock, unlock, lock, or if I can press it on the remote, unlock, or press that button again. If I really wanted to do that, I mean, like, it works, hey, but I want it to work the way I expected it to work, so I'm going to mess around with the wiring, test a few things, and find out if I can get it to work from the box there, or if I need to add a relay. Righto, so I've got it working. Nothing like any of these wiring diagrams here explain. So by earthing off the 2 white and using the 2 yellows instead, I had to test this for a multimeter. Now if I go lock, I can also use the same button for unlock, or lock and unlock, and that all works fine. I haven't got the boot connected at the moment, but it was working. Now I know by opening this already, there's 4 buttons in here, so I'm going to see what the 4th button does. Right, so this is where I'm at. I've got it wired up, so if I was to press the top button, that's lock and unlock. Now that can't be helped because of the BCM, and I should have gotten the more expensive one, I think, because I've bought other keyless entry kits that once you've unlocked, it doesn't matter how many times you press that button again, it doesn't do the same function twice. That function will only work after this function's been done. So that's unlock, and the car's currently unlocked. So I'll lock, and now I'll unlock. Now if I press this button, you can hear the keyless entry, but the BCM only allows that function to happen once, so the BCM is controlling that. But a better aftermarket kit would only allow you to press that button once, or press that button once, and either one won't function unless you've functioned the other one. Now the 3rd button on the fob, this is for the boot, so you press and hold, and it doesn't like me touching the circuitry on the other side, so I've got to try and not touch the circuitry. And then you can hear the boot open. And the last one that they don't give you is just, you'll hear the keyless entry box ticking away. That's for find the car. So the hazard lights are constantly flashing away there for a long period of time. But if I press and hold that top button only, it's also find the car. So same thing. If there's a way to reprogram that keyless entry, I would program it so the function only works once there, and that's it. But you know, it is what it is. And I'm bound to get more kits later on, so I'm going to experiment with them, and if I find a kit that works more ideal for me, I'll just swap them over. But for now, this gets me a working fob, because the reason why I'm doing this is that even though the boot works with this every single time, right now this is working, but you can see I'm holding the button in, nothing's happening, there's no light. I've got to wriggle it around a little bit to try and get it, and sometimes I could be mucking around for ages and it doesn't work. So I'm like, whatever, you know, at least it works at some point. Now having a second remote, I can just go straight to it and lock and unlock, and this will still work as well for the boot. But what I'm going to try and do now, before I go soldering wires and tucking all that away and putting it up, I'm going to go straight into seeing if I can reprogram the car key fobs and see if it'll take an aftermarket key fob. Alright, so now I could mess this whole thing up and unprogram my key fob here, but this is for video purposes. If I make a mistake, hopefully others won't. Okay, so I've worked it out. Now what you want to do is you want to get in the car, the door's got to be locked, and so you want to cycle off, so you've got to be accessories. So I'll tell you the process first. Door's locked, all doors are shut, ignition is off. So what you need to do is unlock the car, basically like this, unlock the car, turn to accessories, press this 3 times, wait for the doors to cycle, and then you can hear the remote. So I'll do the process and you can see it happen. Okay, so doors are locked. Now I'm going to go to unlock, accessories, 1, 2, 3, wait for the doors. Now I can press the remote. Now turn the ignition off, and that's it. Now and unlock. This remote's a bit funny in the boot. That's all it is. And aftermarket key fobs don't work because I've been mucking around trying to get this key fob to work and it doesn't work. Right, so I've got all this sorted out. I've got the wires there. It's not ideal, but it works. So you've got your boot. And these functions here, so this one, the top one is lock and unlock with just a single flash. But if it's locked, then unlocks the car, flashes the indicators 3 times, but you can only unlock once. So if you're inside the house, it's pissing down rain, and you want to lock your car, just unlock, make sure that it's unlocked first, and then you know that the next time you press lock, that the car's locked. And this also turns the interior light on as well, so that function's working. Other than that, I'm like, it's okay, it does the job, it works. Now, the thing is, I'm still going to change that later on if I come across one that the function works, that you can only press this button once, but it'll do for now. And saves me having to muck around with, when I'm going to the car, pressing this button here, and like sometimes the light works. When the light comes on, you know the remote's working, and you got to fiddle around with it to get it working. Yeah, this remote needs replacing, but you know. Now I'll tidy all this up. The only reason why I got the fuse box hanging there is because I was wondering if I could tuck the central locking up there. Okay, just show you there, so you can see the red part of the harness that I made earlier. Just comes around there. You can hardly see it, but it's down there. And I earthed off to here using those blue dreaded things that people talk about. I don't mind them. And I jumped into the wire that I cut from the OBD connector before, so that constant live wire now is now a live wire to the keyless entry, which is on the same fuse as the dome light. So if the keyless entry doesn't work and the dome light doesn't work, I know there's a blown fuse, but there's also easy access to the aftermarket fuse there. So everything's happy days now. Just put that back in. Okay, so that's all done in there. No dangly wires anywhere. Everything's nicely tied away. And for the remotes, I've got the aftermarket one. The top button is lock and unlock. So it's lock, unlock, or I can lock it. And if I press the bottom one, the lights are going to flash 3 times. But I can't unlock twice. The lights will flash, but so if I press that one, I know that it's unlocked. Press that one, she's locked. Or you got the genuine one. You can just press, get it. So that's one indicator because it's not working properly. But if you watch my other video, you know why. So that's lock. Come on, there you go. Unlock and boot as well. So everything's working. Can an aftermarket kit be fitted to a Falcon? Yes. Does it work ideal for me? Well, it does, but you know, it has its quirks. I can lock and unlock with the one button on top. Had I paid a bit more money for a more expensive keyless entry, I wouldn't have that problem. I'm happy with what I did today. It's all working, and because I know how this functions, it's good for me. I will update it later on when I buy another keyless entry, and that pretty much sums this up. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.